His 1998 Bulls team that won a title but also saw the finish line because they had a lot of free agents, even though these Warriors also have a bunch of potential free agents. Kerr said, "We're not looking at this the final dance. I hope we keep dancing." And then Draymond Green, who can be a free agent in 2020, said, quote, "I'm confident I'll be here a very long time." Shannon, is this Golden State's last dance?
I'm going to say, Skip, this is more likely their last year as we know them than not. KD is the big domino.
I'd say.
And the thing is, Skip, with him, after he did what he did when he left OKC by joining a 73-9 team with a team that already had a two-time league MVP, it would not surprise me to see him go join the Lakers and team up with LeBron James.
You would love to see that.
I would love to see that. But it wouldn't surprise because as he said before, I'm doing whatever KD wants to do. I'm not living for anybody else. I'm not trying to please anybody else. These are my decisions. He said that was the first time he made a decision based solely on Kevin Durant. Okay, I'm good with that. Klay also will be a free agent. Draymond in 2 years. But Skip, it's just hard for me to believe that they can keep this team together because the luxury tax bill this year is $43 million. It goes to $90 million, $199, $223. That's $500 million.
Okay.
That's if you exclude Boogie. I understand they're getting a new arena. That's not the
not this year, next year.
Yeah. Skip, that's not their salaries. That's the luxury tax of the $500 million. Now you throw the salaries in on top of that. I think it's more probable than not because at the end of the day, Klay's going to have to look at this and he's going to have to ask himself an honest question. I don't believe there's anything as far as ring-wise that's going to change Klay's legacy. So do I need 4 rings? Because I believe they're going to win it again. So 4 rings and stay here at, say, $60 million less than I can get at another team or have my own team. Draymond's going to have to make that very, very same decision. Now, Steph and KD, that's a different argument. Because I think more so for Steph, because KD people still try to diminish what he. I look at KD, I look, the man was a free agent. He made a decision that was in his best interest. Got no problem with what he did. So those are the questions that they're going to have to ask. I feel probably 85% that this team as we know it right now will not be the team that comes back next year and try to defend the title.
Okay. I wish I disagree, but there are a couple less facts I don't know. I don't know how DeMarcus Cousins is going to fit. I don't even know if he'll be 100% healthy. He's not cleared to even practice.
Just think about the equation. He doesn't.
Okay, he's a part of the equation. To your point yesterday, he's the best center in basketball and acquired them. How?
Yeah.
Why? Well, they did. So what if he fits? What if he makes them even more invincible than you think they are right now?
Right.
What if they look at, not this year, but the next year as we are prohibitive favorites and we could do something in the modern era that's been done? What if they look at, we could win 4 straight championships? Now, the Celtics, Bill Russell, won 8 straight, but the last one of those came in 1966, and it feels like ancient, right? So in the modern era, it's that far away. But my point is, for now, to win 4 straight, possible.
Well,
right?
I believe 4 straight, even if Boogie doesn't play this year.
Well, he's the extra here. So if Kevin, if they win easily with the help of DeMarcus this year, Kevin, who's got a bunch of Valley investments, he might say, you know what? We really could dynasty this, man. We could do a big number. We might win 5 or 6.
4 would be a dynasty.
Okay, it would be. No, it would be. So would Kevin feel some loyalty to Steph and Klay? Now back to the cap. Remember, there's a huge difference between the National Football League and the National Basketball Association, and that's hard cap versus soft cap.
Right.
So it's doable in the NBA because there's no limit to the luxury tax. It's called, after a while, the repeater tax.
Right.
Where
once
you've gone over it, then you really get docked.
Yes.
Right? You really
go
get
from $1 to $1.50 to $2.
but it's up to the owner, Joe Lacob, who I know a little bit, but he's really into this. And if you show him dynasty and you show him proceeds from a new arena across that Bay Bridge in San Francisco called Chase Center, then the whole world is going to be chasing Chase Center. Well, he can just, it's bottomless pit. However he wants to pay, he could pay Clay the supermax.
But here's the thing.
And get away with it. He can fit him under the cap.
Even every business, even Apple, that's worth $1 trillion, that has excess of almost a half of 380 billion in cash, they got limits on what they'll spend. They got limits, and they print money over there.
What happened in Oklahoma City? They had principal limits, that ownership, and I know those guys too.
For basically $5 million.
Well, they just basically said, James Harden, we got to give him up because we're not going to pay all three of these guys with obviously KD and Russ.
Yeah.
And they let James Harden go.
For basically $5 million.
And rules allowed you to pay all three if you wanted to. And they said, principal, we won't do this. And I was saying, what are you doing? These don't grow on trees, man. It's hard to get three like that, right?
And plus, Skip, they chose Serge Ibaka over James Harden.
Okay.
Because they paid him.
All right. Okay. So now, Steve Kerr, he's on the 1990 Chicago Bulls, a team I covered. There the whole year. And what was going on is the undercurrent to that team from day one of training camp. They knew that Jerry Krause, the GM, wanted a new coach, that he was sick and tired of Phil Jackson's arrogance and just his misbehaving toward management and ownership, and that he had already set his sights on the coach at Iowa State, Tim Floyd. So the team nicknamed him Pink Floyd after the 60s rock and roll group. So it's Pink Floyd. So they're making jokes every practice about Pink Floyd's coming, Pink Floyd's coming. It's Tim Floyd's team that year at Iowa State went 12-18. So that's, as you saw his team start to unwind a little bit, like fall apart.
And they thought you'd be the coach.
This is going to take over for Bill? Seriously? But it was happening, and they knew it was happening, and that team was on its last legs. They were good legs, but they were last because Michael was 34, Michael Jordan. He didn't take care of himself like LeBron does.
No.
He just didn't.
Yeah.
He just didn't. And he was about to hit the wall because he had hit it by the time he got to Washington.
Right.
I didn't begrudge him that or condemn him for it.
And plus, Skip, he waited 2 more years, so he...
Okay, all right, because, he was out for 2 years before he even tried that. Dennis Rodman was 36. He was definitely on his last legs because he didn't really take great care of himself. No. Scottie was 32. That was an old 32. Ron Harper was an old 34. And Steve Kerr was 32. Probably he's maybe in the best shape of anyone on the team. But my point is, they just knew from the day one of training camp, last dance. They had T-shirts, last dance.
And plus the thing is, Skip, is that they knew that there's nothing that could be done to keep this team together.
No.
The players, they control this.
They do.
Management will keep it together for a little while.
Right.
As long as the player. Now, Kevin Durant's going to probably have to take another haircut. I mean, if you want Boogie.
He probably would.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, he's making a lot of money off the court.
Yeah, and Clay's going to probably have to give him, have to get
I don't know about Clay.
He's going to be.
They might care for Clay.
You have to get that. You're going to have to trim hair face.
No.
Draymond might have to get rid of that little beard he got going on.
But he's got it not until the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
But Clay's up after this year.
He's
the
up
Lakers
after this
are,
year.
the Lakers are going to be looking at him. So that's the difference is that Jerry Krause wanted to prove that he could win a championship without Phil Jackson
It was
and
like
Michael Jordan.
Belichickian. That's what he was trying to do.
Because Jerry Krause said organizations win championships.
He said that.
Michael Jordan, in his Hall of Fame speech, said organization doesn't have the flu and a fever of 102 degrees. So when the organization does that, talk to me about organization.
And
so
he called out Jerry Krause by name in his acceptance speech.
And it was bad. He skipped.
It was pretty low blow.
But
that's Michael.
He didn't even invite him.
Okay, but that's Michael Jordan. That's that guy.
Yeah,
that's the assassin. Go ahead.
Yes. And so the team, KD is the domino. KD controls this all, Skip. He's the major player because even if Clay leaves, I believe with KD, there still would be the favorite.
They would
so
be.
He's the domino. He's the
and he's the only one who can level the playing field between Golden State and the Lakers. If he comes to LeBron, now LeBron would be going into his 17th year, but still,
but
KD.
We got something up our sleeve. You know we got something up our sleeve.
Well, if you got KD up your sleeve, you're good.
We're going to get a D on the report card. We're going to get a D on our report card. And I know you never made a D, but I got a bunch of them on mine. And sometimes, but that's a passing grade, Skip. It's not anymore. But when I come up there with a passing grade. So we're going to get a D.
I got a bunch of A's, and you want to put the A plus the D.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're going to get an AD or a KD.
Okay.
One of them D's going to be an L.
If it's AD, it doesn't change life.
Oh, yeah,
No,
with LeBron.
AD changes life.
Skip, you actually think that's going to be all we going to get? You think that's all? Hold on. What if we pull a coup? What if we get AD and KD? Oh!
You know, I would like to see that because LeBron could just go along for the ride.
No, see, Skip.
Well, could he not?
Skip, why you do this?
He's in the back seat then?
You know what?
No.
LeBron could come off the bench for that team.
Oh.
He could come off the bench. He could do the mellow roll. And
We're having a good
Somehow I
conversation.
don't.
That'd be funny.
You've been in there getting them gummies. He's been in my stash.
I don't eat gummies.
When you had
I
something
don't
talking
eat
crazy.
gummies. What's in those gummies?
That's good.
Whole different discussion. The NFL.
You watch Thanksgiving Day parade, Macy's?
Yeah.
You see how high them balloons be?
That's
You be in them gummies.
I was wondering where you're going with
Floating?
that.
Floating above the world. Wow.
Okay, gummies
know
for
about
later.
this?
I know. I don't know. Okay, I'm not helping myself. Does the NFL change the roughing the rules? We'll discuss that with Jerson next.